Hi, my name is Jacob Adams. Thank you for joining this Nutrition 101 course, a course where we can start from square one and start developing your own nutrition. I've been working with my nutrition for the last 20 plus years. I first started my first diet in 1996. So for many of you watching, for you, for example, that may be longer than you've been alive. And I'm pleased to say most people, what have I gotten from that time? I feel great. I'm very strong. I can still lift 400 and some pounds on a deadlift, can move 300 and some pounds on a bench press. I feel young. I feel vital. I feel like the best years of my life are still ahead of me and not behind me. If anything, good nutrition has allowed me to keep myself in the fight, in the game, in the game of life. And so I really believe that by applying some of these principles that you're about to learn, you'll be able to have a similar story, maybe better than mine, maybe at the same level, or similar. It doesn't matter where, as long as you commit to your overall philosophy and development of nutrition. So let's start with the idea, commitment. Are you committed to developing nutrition? See, without commitment, you're not going to get anywhere in really testing and developing a diet. Whether you like to admit it or not, you are committed to something. Let's just say I say, well, let's practice something like intermittent fasting, which has become a buzzword and something I've applied and done for many years. Intermittent fasting. Yeah. Or what about low carb or complex carbs in your diet? I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but even if you were to say, I'm done. I'm almost gonna shut this guy off. Whatever it is that you're thinking right about now, you have to commit to your ideologies and philosophies. Some people believe that they will never commit to a diet. Well, that is in itself a commitment to that idea of having no commitment. I want to start there because I want to show you that no matter what it is that you're deciding to do, it is a decision. Okay? Making no decision is a decision. Making a decision to develop a nutrition program or fine-tune or hone in is a decision. So let's take a look as to what you're going to commit to, whether it's to improve your diet. That's a commitment. That's a good decision. It's probably the reason you got this video. Maybe to learn. You decided to learn and open your horizons. Maybe there's something else I can add to your nutrition. That's a good place to start as well. You're also going to need to start with why. Why do you want to improve your nutrition? I'll take you back to 2014 when things were going great. I was in good shape. I had a good physique and I still wanted to improve. Why? Well, at that time, I felt that there was a lot of CrossFit gyms opening up and I had my own CrossFit gym. I had my own CrossFit crew and I wanted to double down and give them something more. I wanted to be able to provide a better leadership for my CrossFit group and give them a better guide, a group cohesive strategy that we could all implement. At that time, it was intermittent fasting. Okay, so that was my why then. In 2018, just 1 year ago, upon the making of this video, it was to get in better shape again, to trim down, to tighten up the midsection. No matter how tight it gets, sometimes we get off track and we have to regroup. In the holidays, we might lose a little bit of our momentum, that no matter how dialed in we are at the beginning or the middle or spring break time or summer, we can sometimes dial out. We can get out of tune, which is a normal type of cyclical change that occurs in, you could say, the American consciousness, depending on where you are when you see this video, right? In any case, we have to look at these ideas, cyclical weight gains, whether it's through the culture, the holidays, the need to improve, to regroup, right? You got to look as to what it is that you're trying to do and why you're doing it, what you'll commit to. Dieting happens whether you plan on it or not. Meaning, so let's just say you move whether you plan to or not. For the most part, most of us move in some way, shape, or form. Then there's people that move really well. They have a good posture. They walk with a good level of confidence and presence. These people move well. Now, for you to think that that's just some sort of accident that isn't part of their overall integration of being, their internalization of who they want to emulate and who they feel they are, I would venture to say it's a fault on your part. Because things don't happen by accident. I didn't get in front of this video with this back screen, with this lights in front of me, in front of this camera, by accident. I didn't upload this video by accident. This course that I'm creating isn't an accident, right? My schedule isn't an accident. What I ate today around 2:00 p.m. was not an accident. So accidents don't necessarily happen. Yes, occasionally we can get hit by a car, and there was really nothing we could say that we had something to do with. Most things in our life, though, are the occurrence of us having a lot of mindfulness or choosing to not be mindful. Okay, the choosing of creating energy or the absence of commitment to create that energy. And we're consistently ebbing and flowing into this dynamic, this dance of life, our will and the external environment's will. And whatever kind of, and when that collides, the external environment and our internal environment, when they collide, reality occurs, right? As you're watching this on your phone or on your tablet or on your computer, on your Apple TV, wherever it is that you're watching me now, this is reality. It's occurring. You know, I took some time out of my afternoon to create this video, and you took some time to learn about nutrition, and it's occurring. What you eat is going to have a similar situation. A similar type of collision will occur. It will be your hunger happens. How well you prepared will come together with what's available and what your schedule allows. And in that collision, in that moment of truth, reality will occur. And that reality plus the next reality where nutrition is involved, plus the next reality, plus the next reality, will start creating your body and your energy and your overall structure, your muscular structure, your DNA, your confidence, all types of things will start happening because of these collisions of both the external, the internal, your mental vision, your goals, your commitments. Everything collides. Right? And so I want to start there with a broad philosophy of what nutrition is and what dieting is, because we sometimes look at it like some sort of je ne sais quoi type occurrence and dieting, and there's such a weird emotion about it. And it's not weird. It isn't weird at all. Like, you get hungry, you need food, and you eat food. Okay? You get hungry, you need food, and so you eat it. Now, with those three variables, what affects what you eat is it available? Do you like it? Can you afford it? Can you get it? Right? Can you get it? Can you afford it? Do you like it? How is it available to you? Right? In other words, if I tell you to get Australian fed lamb, Australian lamb imported from Australia, and you live in some little like foreign little farm place that sort of a tall order, then even if you could afford it, you might have to get it shipped to you. You don't want to put up the time to get it shipped to you, and you don't even really like lamb. And so you see what I mean? There's variables at play here as to what you have to realize is that there are certain things that you will do to diet, and there are certain things you won't do, even if you could do, right? So therein lies what's going to happen, which is the reality. I want to start there with that, because that is what dieting is. Anyone that tells you different doesn't really know, hasn't thought about it, right? Like, just say you're a movie star, right? And you're watching this and you want to get ready for some big role. I can assure you that if that's $1 million production, that they're going to ensure that you can have the right foods and the coach, and it's going to make sure that it gets done because you need to look a certain way. So they're saying, we don't really care what you want, and this is the coach, this is the formula, this is what you're going to eat, here's the money, make sure you like it, and make sure you eat it, and make sure reality happens in that way. I want to give you an extreme case there because that's probably not you, because most people aren't $1 million movie stars. And if you were, you probably wouldn't be watching this because you would have that done for you, right? So for most people, they have to decide what body they're gonna want, what are they willing to do to get it, what foods they like, and what foods work with those goals, right? Donuts likely do not work well with most people's goals. I've never ran into a person where I thought, they came to me and said, what do I eat? And I tell them, look, donuts are a great place to start. You know, because I think a better place, let's say someone was really skinny, right? I'd rather encourage them to eat something like spaghetti and meatballs versus like a sugary donut, because it's gonna make them get fatter, that donut will, and they're likely not wanting fat. They might want weight gain, but they're not gonna wanna get obese. And so I might encourage them to have spaghetti and beef or spaghetti and meatballs versus a donut. And so what I want to start there too on that extreme end is because let's just say you want to trim down, because that's a common goal a lot of people will have, to get a tighter midsection. Donuts are probably not going to be on your to-do list of what to eat. It doesn't mean you won't eat them. It just means you don't have to write it down. It's likely going to be something you sort of like it trickles itself into your diet, and you're like, it's like a childish part of you that still wants that glee, right? Now, as you get more advanced and you want to take a risk and you want to see what it does to your physique, I can also understand that. See, there's other levels to nutrition that keep unfolding to us. As a matter of fact, if you're following me, if I lost you on that donut example, on that second part where you may want to experiment later and throw it into a really solid nutrition program, then, you know, if I lost you there, that's okay. I just want to show you that there's different levels to it. There's different levels to nutrition. And in taking this course and creating a course called Nutrition 101, I wanted to start with what is undisputable frameworks of nutrition. Undisputable things like base metabolic rate, the macros of nutrition, proteins, carbs, and fats, right? The macronutrients that all fuel is created from. That's indisputable. The ratios of your daily macros, meaning, let's just say the zone diet, which was very popular over a decade ago, that's 33% fat, 33% carbs, 33% protein. Those are the macros of that template, the idea of a zone. You're zoning in to this macronutrients of 33, 33, 33. Makes sense? Then there's heavy carbs, which is 60 to 70% carbohydrates, 20 to 30% protein, and 10 to 20% fat. In other words, you play with those ratios a little bit. One is more, the zone being more across the board, middle, 33% across of the 100%, and the one is more carb heavy, right? And really, let's take a look at, briefly take a look at low carb dieting. Low carb dieting is going to be something like 70% carbohydrates, 30% protein. 70% protein, 70% fat, 30% protein, sorry about that. And 1% or less of carbs. Again, so you see there's these three broad pillars as to which we can play as to macronutrients. The entire umbrella all falls under calories, meaning each one of those templates has calories. So I'll be writing that down for you in the next video. I just wanted to get you started here. This is, let's get started. Nutrition 101. This is Jacob Adams. I'll be your coach. I'll see you in the next video.